What happened, y'all? You know what it is. It's another one-on-one with a supervillain. It's February still because I'm still wearing the Black History Month hat from DC. You know, it's not a Marvel Black History Month hat. It's a DC Comics Black History hat. And I just want people to know that, you know. Anyway, let's do it. I'm talking to the brother in the crib, Adalberto. You already know why people are like, you don't like DC. What the fuck? Sorry.
Let the haters hate, bro. Fuck
I'm
'em.
going to. Oh, bro, when you hear this episode I just dropped from today, whoo,
I would have, but you dropped it like 20
I
minutes
know.
ago. I didn't have time to
I'm
listen
gonna
to it.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you the story I talked about real quick. So Friday, I was out. Now, some people hit me up on DMs all the time. I just have sometimes I'll have a very just one word response for them or one line response because I really don't know them and I don't give a fuck to know them, right? Yeah. Other people I'll have conversations with, like yourself, et cetera, et cetera. So I get this Friday on the 10th. Rather than tag you in the post, I thought to message you. You might as well block me. Already had blocked me, so I was like, whatever. How dare you imply that my choice not to have children means that I won't go nuclear from my nieces or nephews, or that you're not the literal cliche of a struggling actor. Of course, your problems are entirely unique to you. Did this in bold. And to you alone. No one in the history of Hollywood has ever had your problems. And you keep the money I sent to you during Blurred. You can't afford to return to me, and we both know it. I was like, bitch, who are you? Bro, if I show you this chick sent me one day at 3 a.m, some long ass shit that nobody asked for. If you can see a little bit of it, this is just sent at 3 a.m.
Because you talked about being a parent and struggling and how
this was a while ago. Sent this.
Oh, okay.
Just sent because I would she would send something. I would say, man, this is incredible information which could play for a story, something like that. Or holy shit, didn't know Afro-Polish or they were Afro-Polish or Afro-German. That's all I said. But when I tell you this motherfucker sends so much shit, I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Anonymous. Fuck them. Not important.
I'm like, who the fuck? This random ass white chick. I was like, yeah, don't get your goof ass on. Anyway, what's good with
bro.
you, bro?
I'll tell you this, man. If they ain't got the balls to tell you who they are, they ain't worth your time.
Her name is Lady Krampus on here. I was like, yeah, that speaks volumes.
Means nothing. Anonymous shit means nothing.
Has been sending me messages since February 2021. I've only responded 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times. That's it. Total.
All right. It's time for me. I think you need some intervention right now. Stop replying to messages you know who they're from.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna have to now.
Because what are you doing? All you're doing is giving them fire.
Giving them fodder. Yeah, you're right.
Fuck
you're
it.
Absolutely
fuck them.
Right.
If they can't say, hey, this is who I am, then fuck them. They're not worth your time. Fuck
yeah, you're absolutely fucking right. Because I've been talking to people. They're like, yo, you can't do certain shit no more. And I'm like, man, all right. I like to I used to like to just comment on random shit on IG. I would see, saying random posts. It was like, you can't do that now like that. Because
you can't do that shit, dude.
Because you now have that check mark and it shows up.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, I get it, but fuck.
Dude, you're a celebrity. You can't be doing that shit.
And I'm trying. You know what's the crazy part? This is how I know I can talk to my real peoples. I am, I guess, but I still try to see myself as not. I know.
You can't because it becomes fuel. It becomes fuel for their fire.
Yeah, it does.
This celebrity said this. This celebrity, you're a target now. Even though you ain't got it, they think they can get it. And that's all that matters.
You're right.
And so you got to be more careful and selective in what you say and do.
Oh, bro, that's why I ain't out here sliding everybody's goddamn DMs. No,
so, because honestly, man, you don't know. That could be some 16-year-old kid talking shit to you, and the next thing you know, you're in a fucking scandal.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta take care because you have kids. I mean,
granted,
your son's in college. He's getting close to the point where he can take care of himself, but you still got that baby girl you got to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't worth your time. So fuck it. Stay on the positive. Stay on the positive.
No.
Yeah, your boy BC's gonna tell you the same shit. Just let it go.
Yeah, he will. We were talking about some shit off air when we got done recording, and he was like, "Hey, man, You tell me so. I was like, damn, because I guess because that expression from the outside looking in or the inside looking out.
Yeah.
I'm from the inside. I'm on the inside looking out, so I don't see what everyone else around me sees.
Yeah, but I'm from the outside looking in. I'm
No,
like,
that's what I'm
dude,
saying. That's what I'm saying.
stop.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta
what I'm
stop.
saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like you see it, you're like, yo,
because like you don't know. Like, there's tons of people right now in trouble because they did something they thought, oh, is this cool, and now someone's trying to extort them for money. You know what I'm saying? And these are just, and it gets to the point where it's just regular people. Regular people are getting the shit slammed on them.
Yeah, you are absolutely fucking right.
So for you, somebody who's been in shit, whose name is known, it's tenfold. So you gotta be more careful who you're talking to. If people want to hit you in the DMs talking shit, they don't want to give their name and who they are. You just gotta like delete the shit. Just delete it. Boom.
That's and I'll be honest with you. And first of all, thank you. That has been one of some of the hardest part because I'm so used to just being like, yo, I'll go back at you. I've always been so used to doing that. And I'm learning, from what you said, other people and even higher ups been like, you can't, as much as you want to, you can't fire back at them now. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Makes sense. I got it. And so I'm really trying to pull back. Like I said, I didn't respond. Of course, I couldn't respond back because she had blocked it. So I was
Thank God.
cool.
Thank God.
So I just addressed it there on the cast. And then like, that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're going to come after you, man. They're going to come after you.
Well, like when I said, I was like, because
especially being a successful black man, they're going to come at you.
Yeah, man, you're right. Let me tell you some revolution.
So you got to be careful.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, bro.
Because the farther you go, the more you have to lose.
Ain't that the fucking truth?
And the one that's going to suffer is your baby girl.
Yeah, and I definitely don't want her suffering from shit because she just. Let me tell you what this little heifer did. I love my daughter. I love my daughter so much. Okay, so her mom last weekend went for the first time in like almost 10, 15 years. Went to her college homecoming. Right, she just she needed a break to have a vacation. Cool. Her grandmom watched our daughter. I was like, cool. I told my daughter's mom. I said, listen, there's only one thing I want you to do. She was like, what? I was like, have fun. I was like, you need this. Have fun, right? So I say all that. My daughter has a Messenger Kids account, so she can message her mom and me if her mom's gone and she's with her grandmom, so she can stay in contact. My daughter all day messaging her mom back and forth, having full conversation with her mom. It's so cute, right? Love it. Daddy sends a message. That shit gets ignored for a while, okay? So fast forward, Saturday, I'm on my way to my show, right? I'm on my way to a show. And I wasn't on my way to a show. I was on my way to a Mardi Gras event first. I'm on my way to an event. All of a sudden, I get a message. I had to switch my accounts. I get a message from my daughter. It just says, hey, Dad, can I get some Roblox money so I can play Roblox? I said, baby, what is Roblox? I have no idea. She was like, it's a game and you can buy stuff with it. I said, okay. She's like, my mom said I can have it. I was like, okay, that's fine. I was like, well, how do I get it? She was like, you just got to give me the money. I had to catch. I'm not giving your motherfucking ass. You 9-year-old. I'm not sending you no money. She's like, just give me a gift card. I was like, this is what we're not going to do. So then I called her mama. I said, what is my daughter talking about? She was like, she wants something for Roblox. And I told her, I'm not going to do it no more. You need to call your dad. And she was like, I don't want to call my dad. She's like, no, I'll call your dad. And so she called me. I was like, all right. Well, I was like, how much was it? Blah, blah, blah. I sent her she asked for like a small amount. I sent her over the amount, right?
Yeah.
Here. So I did that. Cool. So a couple of hours pass. I end up going to the show I had to do. It's about 9. So my daughter calls me initially at about 5 o'clock. She texts me about 5. 9 o'clock, everything's been done, right? So I called my daughter's mom. I was like, tell your daughter she can ask her father for something anytime she wants. That is fine. But she also need to learn how to say thank you. I said, put the child on the phone. She was like, hello? I was like, hello, daughter. She's like, hi. I said, you got the Roblox, right? She was like, yeah. She's like, you know how you got the Roblox, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, how? She's like, my mom said you sent the money to do it. So you got it for me. I said, yeah. I said, you know what that means? She said, what? I said, you can say thank you. She was like, okay. Leah, you can say thank you. Okay. Jalea, there's a thank you, Dad. There's a level of respect. That's when someone does something, you say thank you. The person says you're welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you, what? Thank you, Daddy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Now put your mom on the phone. Okay. I said, that child is too much like you with this okay shit. She was like, I know, and I don't like it. I was like, well, you should have broke this shit a while ago. Dude, it was like, because it's just, as they get older, like my daughter, the beautiful thing is like you start seeing your kids get their personalities, right? Yeah. Who they're going to be. And of course, they take parts of each. Like my daughter has some things she does that are absolutely me that I can never get mad at because I'm like, ooh, that's me. I know it. And then there's things she has her mom and she has her own personality. But it's cool. It's so cool to me. But it's also like, okay, I know my responsibilities are if you need something and I got it to do it. Then I go from that to a couple of days before. We talk about my kids, right? My son's practically grown.
Yes.
We know, everyone knows this. Everyone knows I have a son who's a freshman in college. He will be 20 this year, right? So my son calls me Wednesday. He was like, yo, Pops, I'm at home. Because he only lives out. His school is only an hour away from home. So he's like, you can go home whenever. He's like, Pops, I'm at home. My mom's stressing me about this phone because he needs to get a new phone. I said, all right. I told my son in advance, bro. I said, listen, this is when he called me like a week and a half ago. I said, yo, I can help you, but you got to wait about 2 weeks till I get this check for this thing. I can't do nothing now. Just gonna be honest. So he's like, all right, cool. So he calls me. It's only been a week. So he was like, man, my mom's stressing me about this phone. I said, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. I told you when I can do something. Just gets better. He says, yeah, but she just want to look at him. I said, so what the fuck does that have to do with me? He was like, she just want you to know what types I'm looking at. I said, okay. I said, what are you looking at? He was like, well, one of the phones she was thinking about getting me was an iPhone 14. I said, Jalen, I'm not getting you an iPhone 14, helping you get an iPhone 14. Why? Because I don't have a fucking iPhone 14. So that is out the fucking question. Also, what are we talking? Again, I keep on this thing. What are we talking about? I don't have the money right now. No, she just want to look at it. So why the fuck are we looking at a phone that you can't get right now? Then he started trying to look at phones. I said, yo, I'm going to call you back when I get in the crib so I can look at the phones on the computer because he was trying to look through the phone. And, you know, it's a better visual on a computer screen.
Yeah.
So I get home. I pull up the shit. I'm like, so what are we doing? He was like, well, she said it could either be that or it could be the iPhone 13 Pro or 13 Pro. I said, okay, bet. I said, look, I'm looking at one that says it's $0 down. I said, let me ask this question. You're on your mom's plan, right? He said, yeah. I said, the phone is $0 down. If you get it, it's $30 extra a month on the bill. What the fuck are we talking about? He was like, but she just want to know what phone. I said, Jalen, if you get the phone, you don't pay any money on it. It goes $30 per month extra on your bill. What are we doing? He was like, well, she just want to, okay, she can know. Why are you stressing me with this shit? I said, it'd be a different story if you're asking me about putting money down on the phone that you don't have to put money down on, which I'm, again, going to question. Why are we talking about putting money down on a phone that says $0 down? When I tell you I went in circles, bro, for 35 minutes with him and his mama about why am I on this phone right now? Because it was no, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can see if we're trying to make a decision finally to do something or whatever. But this is just to look. Motherfucker, we're not house or car shopping. Fucking phone.
That's great.
This is the joys of being a parent. I said, if you get the phone,
Well,
I said,
you
bro,
know, it's the same George of being an ant. It's the same thing.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not that bad. Don't you do this, bro? I was like,
Oh.
if you're getting the phone, I said, because his mama can hear me too, because his, I guess, you know, just his screen is cracked. Also, his screen is cracked. Get the fucking screen fixed. I digress, right? But I'm like,
does he have an iPhone?
Yeah.
You know the iPhone screens are the easiest screens to fix?
I've heard.
Because you pop out a couple screws, you put the thing up, you take the screws off, you pull it off, you put some on, screw it on, clip. I mean, of course, there are a couple things you got to kind of like transfer from the old screen to the new screen.
Absolutely.
But it's not like a Samsung where you got to take the whole back of the phone off,
you got to take
the entire phone
off.
complete apart, and then take off the screen. Like iPhones, if you do it right, you just kind of pop open like a book.
I said, here's the thing. I said, also, y'all do realize you could just go to the store and do this because it's going to go on the plan. I was like, just go to the store. And he's like, well, yeah. I said, so why am I here? I'm like, because I guess his mama was trying to make it see. His mama thought I was trying to be like, I didn't want to do shit. I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is this conversation is irrelevant unless there is an imminent decision being made.
Do they want you to pay the $30 a month?
That was what she was like, no. So what the fuck am I? That's what I even asked. I was like, yo, do you want me to pay the extra $30 a month? I said, that's fine, but is that what we're talking about? No, that's not what we're talking about.
Do they want you to buy the phone outright?
No. Bro, I've looked around in my apartment as I sit here right now when I'm on the phone with my son and his mom. My phone is here on speaker. I looked around, was like, there has to be TV cameras. This is not happening for real. This is not real fucking life. I was like, there's no way this is really happening without a script being involved.
Classic misunderstandings. These are the shit in TV shows. I go, this shit doesn't happen. Apparently, I'm wrong.
Apparently, it does. This would be some shit in a CBS comedy, right?
Yes.
And everybody would think this was some shit that came up in a writer's room as a joke. And I'm like, this is not a fucking joke. This motherfucker I dealt with for almost a grand total of 2 hours about nothing.
See, that is called pilot rating. Take from real life, Jay. Take from real life. That's a pilot right there. You can start the pilot show off with that and just go from there. See, life is giving you gems.
It is. It absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I've been writing different things and just scribbling and jotting notes down on different shits recently, trying to, get my brain to work on different things and plot different things and ideas. And it's become one of those things where it's like the things I think about, I'm like, well, where would I grab inspiration, if you will? And I'm like, I think about something like that. If I write that down, people won't believe it, but I'm like, it really happened. Like I tell people the story, I'm going to start back doing this joke I used to do years ago about doing CrossFit for the first and only time I did
it. Sorry, I know the joke.
It's the truth. I did CrossFit one time in my life. Because me and my homeboy Chuck, he's a former comic. He works out crazy. And so one day he wasn't working. He was like, yo, let's go work out together. Because we used to both go to Export together. Mm-hmm. So we went to Export out in fucking by the Lincoln Mall out in fucking Matson or whatever.
Okay.
His butt, he was like, yo, let's go out there. And I was like, cool, you driving. I don't give a shit. So we walk in the door. One of his homies works there who's a trainer. And his buddy jumped up when we came in, was like, hey, I got a couple hours. Y'all want to get a free session in? And he was like, yeah, y'all want to get a free CrossFit session in. My boy was geeked up like, hell yeah, let's do this. I was like, nigga, no. He was like, why not? It'll be good. So I just snapped and was like, no. I felt like if I got like a bitch, you would understand I didn't want to do this. Bro, we go through that whole shit. We go do it the first time. This was the scariest shit that happened. I didn't know about the circuit that you do with CrossFit, number one. But he started off the circuit. We're going to start jogging on treadmills at 6 miles an hour. It was a Rick Ross song playing. He said, when the beat drop, go to 10. I was like, 10 what? He was like 10 miles an hour. I was like, on what? He was like, the treadmill. Nigga, I said, what treadmill? He was like, the one you on right now. I said, clearly you didn't understand. No, the first fucking time I told you, do this shit again. We do all this shit. We do this, bro. It beats me. I have never been beat up that bad working out. I've never been beat up that bad. I remember we leave. I'm huffing and puffing. And my boy, he all charged up and geeked. He's like, man, bro, how you feel? I was like, we not fucking friends no more. He was like, why not? I said, because a real fucking friend would have understood no the first time I told your punk ass no. A real fucking friend wouldn't have let me get workout raped back there, okay? Have my tendons and my ligaments feeling all violated. I said a real fucking friend would have let me stay at home playing Call of Duty, getting called a nigger by a little 13-year-old white boy on the internet. But instead, fuck you, fuck this over hyper ass trainer, and fuck CrossFit. I'm gonna go find me another gym. I mean, I left export after that.
Friends don't let other friends be called the N-word on Call of Duty.
You can't control that. Man, let me tell you something. I wish there was a little white editor who was like, as soon as little Bradley goes, you stupid nigger. He's like, hey, Brad, you can't do that, buddy. You can't call him that. Why not? He doesn't know where I live. Brad, the niggers are smart. Well, you just called him that. Like, see, Bradley, that's not about me. It's about you.
So I'm saying, man, the anonymous, I think they something. Oh, congratulations, knocking somebody out.
I didn't actually knock him out.
Okay.
So what happened was this comic Mark Hayes, he's a funny dude. His crowds, he will go in on them, right? On his crowds. But they know what to expect out of him, right? He was on a show where it was an improv lineup crowd, but it wasn't like, it was just a crowd coming to the improv, not curated for his show. So this one dude was drunk, passed out on his wife's titties, right? And Mark was going in on his wife, who was drunk too. And so she got him some. If you tell an intellectual joke, I'll laugh. And he just kept going in on her. So she tried to get up and said, I'm going to leave. So when she woke up, she had to wake dude up, right? So she get up. She finna leave. Dude jump up. This motherfucker woke up choosing violence, bro. This motherfucker woke up. You fucking talking about my wife. And he was like, yeah, y'all can fucking leave. And then he got mad. So I'm on the other side of the bar, see it. And my spidey sense kick off. I watch him get up pointing. When I tell you this motherfucker moved like 3 steps forward, they showed the security video to me. You see me go pew and be over so quick and go in between dude and the comic on stage, right? Now, dude so fucked up, he see red. He don't see me. He just see dude, right? He don't really pay attention. You know, when people saw that they pissed off, they don't care who around them. They just see the person they're looking at. So he tried to swing. As soon as he tried to swing, I hemmed his ass up with one arm, hooked him in, and was picking him up. And he was trying to fight a little bit, and I was about to take him out. One of the other door guys comes in and is trying to help me. And I'm basically like, yo, I fucking got this. Because I'm finna pick dude up and fireman carry him over my shoulder and take him out.
But you're the talent. That's not your job.
Hold on.
I know. I'm just saying. That's why the door guy was there.
I wasn't on the show that day. I was just there.
Doesn't matter. That's the door man's job. But go ahead.
So I put him down, right? When I put him down, he looked and realized I had him. He looked at how massive I was in front of him. This motherfucker says, and I quote, I respect you. I said, we too late for all that shit, bro. And then I said, let's go. So then I got him. I'm taking him out. The managers come in. They freak. What to do? Should I grab him? I said, yo, just move the fucking chairs. They're like, what? I said, move the chairs. I'm finna get him out. Because the door was right there. Yeah. I was like, just move the chairs. I'm going to get him out. So we just get the chairs, get him out. It took everything in me, bro, to not grab this motherfucker like I was Uncle Phil and he was Jazz and just go, ah! It just,
I'm
it
just
just
saying,
chuck him.
man.
So
You made that
everybody,
doorman feel bad.
huh?
That doorman was like, "That's my job."
Oh, everybody in the club was like, yo, what the fuck? Because they couldn't believe they saw me do it. They was like, everybody kept being nervous, like, yo, are you okay? Are you okay? And this is me literally. I'm fine. But are you okay? Are you okay? I'm good.
You're the talent.
You're sure? Because they were so nervous. It was like, so I was like, you know what I'm pissed off of? It was like, what? What happened? I said, I lost the earring. It was like, what? Swear to God. I said, I lost the earring. Huh? Yeah, I lost the earring. It was like, did you? So then they were like, yo, did you start a tab at the bar? I said, yeah, my card is up there. They was like, don't worry about it. Whatever you want, you can have it free. I said, oh, I fucking know that now. I could have got because the thing is, like, if you're like regular comics there, like there's certain bartenders that are super cool that no matter when we come in there, they'll just give it. If they know we drinking, they'll just give it to us. So but in that situation with the front bar, I didn't like the card. One of the comics that one of the bartenders I really know wasn't up there, so I just dropped my card. I knew I was gonna have to pay half anyway, but it wasn't shit. But when I tell you, the next day I came there because I was just like fuck it, because I hang out at the Improv just to hang. It's one of the clubs it's a club you can just literally hang out at and just chill. Everybody was like, so why we hear this story about you bouncing people? I said, listen, I was just doing my due diligence. And it was because, like I said on Twitter, bro, every comic, remember, since all this shit had been happening, comics have been like, oh, this is what I do. And the thing is, there's a comic I know. He a black dude. He said, first of all, the mother was like, I'd have let him get his ass whooped. But then they were like, I'm not going to run up for nobody. And I was like, it don't matter. It wasn't the fact of who was on stage. Now, I told him if it was an open micer, that's between you and Jesus. You got to handle that because open micers don't know no better. Right? But I was like, the comic, I was like, it was just something like, nah, we're not finna let this shake.
Yeah.
Then this is where it gets funnier. So after we take him out, after the chairs was all discombobulated, everybody put the tables and chairs back together, right? It was like, yo, you want to go up at the end? I was like, fuck it, I'll do 7 minutes. I go up. They was like, wait, you're not a bouncer? You're not security? It's like, no, I'm a comic. I was just here to hang out I was just here to hang out. And they just said, you want to go up? And then I had to work. So I'm going to file a W-2 for the night. Like, fill out a W-4 for the end of the night. Like, get a bonus. And it was just funny, man, because, like, it was just super funny with the whole situation, how it played out. But it was one of those, and it was also a little bit, the scary part per se is comedy clubs on black nights, they always have armed security, plain and simple.
Okay.
Yeah. But because they think black people are going to be the one to shoot up the club. But in all actuality, it's these motherfuckers who come on the regular nights who will never get checked.
Yeah.
They just walk in the door. A black person knows I'm going to go black or brown person. If you're going to check them, black or brown person, you checking them on those nights. No, I can't bring it in. It's going to be in the car. I'm going to have to go out to get it. But these cats can bring it in because ain't nobody going to check them. So it was the whole like, yo, why are you watching us? You know, why y'all not watching him? They was like, well, dude came back. I was like, for what? She's like, oh, his wife said she left her purse. I said, I'd have thrown that shit in the street for that bitch, tell her go fetch. Because you encourage the bullshit. Like, but, you know, I don't, and, you know, people keep saying that, especially with kind of like, oh, man, it's getting so bad now. People can't tell jokes anymore. People are doing something. It's like, yo, no, it's not bad. It's not getting worse. It's just getting recorded. It's just like the shit at the crib. You know how everybody say the crib's so bad? I'm like, everybody who know the crib be like, nah, it's not bad. You just see it faster now.
Yeah.
You just see it in real fucking time.
Yeah. Like, I got an argument with my nephew because he's like, this neighborhood's getting so much worse. I'm like, dude, this neighborhood's been this neighborhood. Like, it didn't get worse. It's the same shit they've been doing for the last 20 years. Like, chill the fuck out.
The same shit. People be killing me. They be like, oh, man, it's just crazy. I hear violence everywhere. I was like, do y'all not know what city we talking about? You just like, well, I saw on this. Yeah, because you saw it there. We lived it. We lived it.
Yeah.
So we know the shit you see. And actually, and then I told people, I'm like, look, this ain't justifying it by any means. I was telling somebody this out here. I said, this ain't justifying it or validating it by any means, but it's actually less violent than what it used to fucking be.
Oh, yeah. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
It's actually less violent. Yeah, some of these kids out here is reckless. We get it. But back in the day, man.
No, back in the day, they were reckless. I didn't give a shit.
They were reckless, bro.
It was that was just a Tuesday night back in the day.
Motherfuckers don't know. What's
like,
going
hey,
on? Huh?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What you saying?
I'll say back in the day, like, hey, they're shooting up the corner again. Yep. Time to sit on the floor. Time to sit on the floor and watch TV.
You better tell it. You better tell it. Don't you get by that window. Don't you get by that window, bro? Where I was at in the ward, we fucking had, bro. I'll never forget. They had a gang shootout. I never forget this to the day I die. I was on the porch drawing. It was a summer day. I was drawing. A couple of my homies was like from the block we was just hanging out on the porch. And one of the guys came down the block with a Tech 9 in his hand. And my man said, y'all better go in the crib. We was like, whoa. Went in the crib. 10 minutes later, firing off. The fact that we got warnings spoke volumes.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember volumes. Like I lived like 2 blocks from the corner, and all you hear was pa 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 pa. You look up, dude. Seriously, it was 2 cars kitty cornered, just shooting at each other. Kitty cornered, 2 cars kitty cornered. Both cars see each other, went like this, got out, and started shooting at each other. They don't do that shit now.
I guarantee that nobody died, right?
Nobody died, but still, fucking stupid.
Terrible aim. If you kitty corner from another, you see, first of all, y'all see each other. Hey, is that out? Blah, blah, blah. That's some shit you see in movies.
Yes. I was like, huh, that shit does happen in real life.
Bro, people don't get it, man. Like they think, you don't want to justify the violence or whatever. Like I said, you don't want to give it any level of validity, but it's the fact that it's happened, and yes, the one thing people I was telling somebody this, I forgot what discussion. I was just with a group of people, we were having a discussion, and I was like, yes, unfortunately, we have seen more murders happen on Instagram and Facebook Live. Because those are things that were around. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if those type of technology were around back in our days, you would have seen the same shit.
I remember when the squad cars came out, 2 squad cars, 3 SWAT vans, and they just swing around the neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember that shit, but nobody talks about that.
But that's
why? Because it's in the brown neighborhood. Brown neighborhoods don't get that.
Oh, yeah. That's why we say summertime shot is the most beautiful time in the world, but the most dangerous as well.
Yeah. But hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. What's good with you, man? What all's going on your end, bro?
I'm just tired, man. Just dealing with doing stuff. Working. Dealing with a wife with a broken foot, her broken leg.
How's the foot healing?
Yeah, she's about to do physical therapy, so hopefully 6 more weeks should be walking.
Okay.
We'll be ready for like C2E2 by the end of March.
Okay. I was trying to see if they was going to, bring me out, but everybody now is so real tight with this. Whoever they bring, they want to make sure they can get their money's worth. And I'm like, I get that part, but I'm like, yo, just pay me to do the panels. I'll get myself out there.
Yeah.
Pay me to do the panels. That's it.
Do you apply for the panels or?
Well, I don't want to do like you can make your own panels, but I'm talking about like the big when they have the main stage panels.
Yeah.
Those are what I'm talking about. Because like the one in fucking Salt Lake City, they wanted me to come back out because I didn't go out last year because I told them last year, I said, listen, I'm telling y'all right now, I did the favor for y'all twice to show you, because first you had heard about me, didn't know who I was, then you saw what I did. Then you saw how good I was and wanted me to come back. So I did it twice. Now, y'all got to give up something for me to come out here.
Yeah.
You got to put me up or something. And they was like, oh, we can only do. All right, well, you just won't have me out there. Because the fact is, your fans are asking me, the people in Salt Lake City are hitting me up, yo, are you coming back to Fan X? Tell Fan X to make the right decision. Because I told them, I said, here's the deal. Not only did I do the first 2 times for y'all as a favor and to show you what I can do, right? Now I have way more validity to who I am. Before TV shows are under my belt, TV shows under my belt now, a couple of them. Now I have the new Rockstars thing, which is even bigger than the TV show. So it's like,
Really?
bro,
Okay.
the average TV show gets sometimes 100,000, depending on the show, right? New Rockstars YouTube network has 4 million subscribers.
Okay.
And so, when we're talking about the validity of the nerd world, I'm talking about for the nerd world.
Yeah.
So it's like you have this, I'm worth it, and then some. So bring me out. If you want me there, show me. I get what y'all trying to do, but don't get me wrong, I like being a part of it because I met they have a whole Blurred crew out there because like it's Salt Lake City. And we know it's white as the driven snow, but it has the highest LGBTQ population per capita in the country. It's got a nice Blurred black and brown nerd center that they try to do things. And so it's like the nerd group was like cool because they were trying to get noticed and everything and trying to build up. And then you have someone like myself who is out there now. So because of that, I can do whatever I can for them, do something with them, whatever, help try to push their visibility up. But it's like, make it where it's worth my while.
That makes sense.
Don't make me, I used to do C2E2. Look, it's home. Yes, I get it. But at the same time, home has got to, look, just because it's at home doesn't mean I can keep doing shit for free.
Yeah. No.
One of my homeboys who I grew up with, him and I have been friends since what's his last day to get my prescription? All right, cool. Him and I have been friends since we were in 6th grade. Okay. Him and I have been friends over 30 years. He lives in Arizona now. He's former military and he wanted to put on a comedy show. He wants to put on a comedy show in the VFW out in the comedy show out there. So I was like, bet. He was like, I would like for you to headline it. I said, cool. So I was like, I'm going to tell you now. I said, I appreciate you. I said, but we're going to do this the way I do any other show. He was like, okay, I wouldn't expect anything less. I said, bet. And he respected that. He respected how much I needed to come out there to do the show and what else I needed. I said, this is how much it's going to cost me to do the show. I just put me up. I'm good. I can get myself, because it's in Phoenix. Yeah. I can fly to Phoenix easily. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can do a round trip flight to Phoenix. Ain't going to kill me for no reason at all. A Phoenix flight is like, 2 hours at best.
Yeah.
2 hours at best. Because it's a 6-hour drive. So if it's a 6-hour drive, it's 2 hours at fucking best. So I can do the flight. When I tell you, he was like, we talked about it first. Then he was like, all right, can we have a meeting on the phone on Saturday to have you, I'll have you talk with all the other people with me and we can set it up. Bro, he did everything that was necessary to make the show happen. So it's like, if somebody like that who's known me since a child can understand and respect the work and value that I have, somebody else should be able to for who ain't a fucking friend for that long. You know what I'm saying? Because you would think the people who know you be like, yo, you gonna give me a discount. That's what I meant. That's what I'm saying.
It's everybody wants you to do something for free. And they think that their exposure is enough. I'll give you exposure. Like, that's enough. But it sounds like he's not trying to do a charity event. He's trying to do an actual show.
Here's the thing, too. So it's funny you bring that up. There was a post. I don't know if you saw me repost it. It was on Twitter about Rihanna did the Super Bowl halftime show for free. So the next time you complain about not working for exposure, think about yourself. And everybody was like, motherfucker, Rihanna could afford to do the Super Bowl for free because Rihanna literally did a 12-minute commercial for Fenty.
Is it really free? I know the NFL's not paying her, but it is called the Apple halftime show.
Yeah, there's a bit like she's not getting a full what she would normally, collect.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like it's called the Apple.
Yes.
Meaning, is Apple paying
Yes.
her now? Just because the NFL's not paying her, don't mean Apple ain't paying her.
But
That's
it's
all
still,
I'm saying.
no. Does she get something? She's not getting a major. Put it like this: what she gets doesn't offset the cost because the performances you have to pay for yourself.
Okay.
Whatever you plan on doing. So she gets something from them, but it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't balance out. It ain't offset. Like cool. But
I don't know, man. It's Apple. It may not be monetary. It may not be monetary, but it's something.
But this is what I'm saying. Because it's Apple doing it, not only does she get the the look from doing it, because more people watch her fucking performance than the actual game, right?
Which is so sad.
Which is crazy. Number one. But like I said, the biggest part is she did a 12-minute commercial for Fenty. Because all she did was that one moment when she took them, she had the little thing and she did her face. That's her makeup. It reminded people, yo, I got this. Women are now gonna be like, oh shit, what's that? She just made sure her business had more revenue, right?
She's opening one of her clothing lines is opening up a store up in the Orland Park.
See what I'm saying? You just sat there and promoted all you. That's savage. Like I got a pair of Fenty boxes here. Yeah. Like you sitting there just promoting your products and everything without directly. You sat there and got to perform and promote yourself and your product without paying $7 million for 30 seconds like some places did.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You see what I'm saying? So, but we saw that meme talking about exposure, right? And everybody was like, it was some people some dudes tried to post it on Facebook. It was like, no. If your exposure can introduce me to 111 million people, then I won't say shit. But your exposure will barely introduce me to 111 people. And then also the 111 people you're exposing me to, are they going to become fans? Are they going to buy my merch? Are they going to follow? Are they going to be this? Or are they going to be somebody, even if they're not just regular patrons, are they going to be somebody that I can eventually have them connect with? No, more than likely no, because anybody that says exposure like that never has anybody that they're exposing you actually to. I have learned that lesson a lot in this business. Anytime somebody's like, yo, it's great exposure. It's not great exposure. It's just, I don't want to pay you.
And as somebody who's not in the business, what counts as exposure?
Exposure is I do something. So case in point, I do FanX the first 2 times.
Yeah.
That introduces the FanX staff because I'm recommended, first of all, right? And people might see a little clip. So now the FedEx staff gets to see me in person, work and do what I do and engage with the talent, right? And make the talent feel comfortable, but also not just making the talent. I'm moderating a panel of a room of 6,000 people and got them all engaged multiple times. So now the exposure is, oh shit, we can bring him for more. On top of that, the exposure in that regard is the talent I'm working with when I'm moderating their panels now know me. And now remember me. How do I apply that to later? I did FanX later that year, right before the pandemic, ended up doing San Diego. The panel that I moderated at FanX was Brandon Routh and Katie Lotz. We were at San Diego at the Dreamin' Black Blurred and Bougie party on the boat for Warner Brothers. Brandon and Katie came through and they was like, oh shit, Jay, good to see you again. They remembered me. And so then you introduce, I'm already knowing other people in the Arrowverse. So now connect further. When I go to Guggenheim's house to watch episode 3 of Crisis, Guggenheim, them trying to figure out where to put me on a show, but they didn't want to put me in Vancouver because unless you're doing a major role where you're like recurring, it costs too much for them to send you up.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. And then they was like, well, what about sending them to Atlanta and putting them on Black Lightning? And because I knew everything that was going on there, they was like, Celine, nah, we good. So, but it was cool. But it was, the thing for me was I was in that conversation. So the exposure, you see how it led to things, the potential of bigger things. So that is a level of exposure. Cool.
Okay.
That is a different level. The exposure isn't I go do a show and Now, also on that same exposure with FedEx, again, now bring me back and compensate me in some way.
Yeah.
Because now you know what I am and what I do and how I connect with people. Also, when half of they get a lot of these special guests they bring in, when it's like different talent, because we all are out here and we've all crossed paths, I can walk past their booths and I'm chopping it up. I was the first dude in years, and this is my hand to God, the first dude in years to make Lou Ferrigno do his panel and go longer than 30 minutes. Lou Ferrigno has a rule. I'm doing 30 minutes. That's it. I'm gone. They said,
I don't like Lou Ferrigno.
I heard a lot of people don't, but they said the fact it was like no one has ever had Lou laughing, joking, telling stories, and constantly going for an hour. They said nobody has done that. I said, exactly. I know who I am, what I do, and how good I am at what I do. You know what I'm saying? I know how good I am. And so exposure on a different, like I said, you bring a comedy show. Oh man, we got 5,000 seats sold, and it's gonna be great exposure. It's gonna be great exposure. And I'm like, all right, but you're selling those tickets.
Yeah.
You're selling those tickets. Yeah, we selling tickets. How much you charging for the most minimum seat? $20. So I'm just going to use as a general equation, because I know for a fact that every seat isn't $20. Some are way more. You're telling me at minimum, you're making $100K off of ticket sales. At minimum. So after you cover your overhead, this, that, and the third, you still got money left over to pay talent. Because that's just using $100K. That's not
and you can do more than one panel. Not like you just do the one panel and you leave. Just saying.
But yeah, and that was the thing. Like when I did the last year, I was supposed to do Palm Clementif and Asher Angel and somebody else. But Palm, she got sick and lost her voice. She couldn't talk. So I was like, I got it. I did Asher. Asher was cool. We chopped it up. When I did the Power Rangers was cool because they knew, I got cool because most of them, again, most of them live out here. So my buddy Clayton Thomas, CT, is cool with Jason Font, who played West the Red Ranger on Power Rangers Time Force. So because I like to introduce myself to people before our panels, way before we meet. So when I introduced myself to Wes, I was like, yo, you and I got a mutual homie. He was like, who? I was like, CT. He was like, CT, my guy. I was like, yeah, we comics together. We know each other, blah, blah, blah. So then it got cool. And then Nakia knew him. And so Nakia Baris. And so because of that, Nakia Baris also know my boy Kente Scott, who's a comic. So because I get that validation, boom, everybody's cool. When I did Kel Mitchell, Kel and I connected because Kel from the crib. And he went to CVS. I went to Harper. I know people he went to school with. He know people I went to school with. We're good. So it's those different things, those relationships, those connections you make. But a lot of people don't want to see that in the validity and the monetary value with it. I understand you get into business to make money. You don't get into business to just not make money. Yes, you may want to help people, provide a service, this, and the third, but you want to make some revenue out of it. Now, we're not saying you want to be an evil genius in this motherfucker. But yeah.
No, I get it. You gotta make something. You can't just everything, because you can't pay rent on good deeds. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So yeah. But listen, sorry for rumbling my motherfucking mouth.
That's education for me. I don't know none of that. But
yeah, bro.
I hear exposure. I'm like, what counts as exposure? Like, are we talking about like 10 people? Are we talking about 150 people?
It doesn't
1,000.
But see, that's the thing.
Like, what's exposure?
People use exposure as a metric. And it doesn't matter the amount of people in the crowd. It is a tool used to not compensate talent. Because so much talent nowadays is so thirsty for opportunity, if you will, that they will sit there and say, well, if they just fucking they pay me an exposure, then I'm fine. I'm just getting on stage. I'm just performing. No. Heath Ledger's Joker said it best in The Dark Knight. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
I mean, I just mean like I think there needs to be a metrics on what exposure counts as. Like, it's 150 people. That's not exposure. That's a free job.
But 100. But again, 1,000 people is exposure still if they're charging at the door for seats for let's say a comedy show. Like I said, that's what I was bringing up. A comedy show charging and not paying talent. That's not exposure. That's exploitation. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, like I said, there needs to be for what counts as exposure. So that's all I'm saying. Because
no, I get what you're saying. I get
exposure. Like, oh, they did it for exposure. Well, of course they did. There's like 150 million people out there that just seen them do that. That's exposure.
Right, but that exposure.
So people go, it's 50 people. It's exposure. Who? In my mind, almost like, who are these 50 people that count as exposure? Like, it's just people that walked in that day. Like, it's for me, it's confusing.
Nah, I get it, bro.
Doesn't make any
look, let me get sense. Don't make no damn sense at all. Shit. But look, tell the people how they can find you, my broski.
Yeah, they can find me on social media. That's it.
You'll find him on social media, whatever. Y'all see him through here. Y'all know where to find me as always. Don't go nowhere. I'll holler at y'all for the next one. Take care. I'm out. Bye. Yeah.